Sweetest, it won't make a sound. It feels like an angel straight from heaven, just like my lucky number 7. You're my shooting star.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Miss Fashion YouTube channel. My name is Miro, and on this channel I share sewing tutorials and pattern drafting tutorials. If today is your first time here, you're welcome. Kindly subscribe and hit on the notification bell to get notified when I upload a new video. So in today's tutorial, I'll be going about the sewing of this 6 pieces draped neckline blouse. So if this is something you're interested in learning, you would definitely keep on watching, and let's get started with the tutorials. So guys, before we go over to the tutorials, I just want to drop this that I have already done a pattern drafting of this blouse, of this 6 pieces blouse. So if you haven't seen that video, I would advise you go and see the video. I've already done everything about the drafting of this blouse on a video before the last one I posted. So this is the fabrics I'll be needing for this project, okay? So guys, I have 1.5 yards of this net fabric, and I have 2 yards of this light damask fabric. So for this black Duchess, I was supposed to use it for the flare part of this project, a skirt. Okay, I was supposed to use it for a flare skirt, but I think I'll be uploading it on my next video. Okay, guys, so these are the fabrics I'll be needing for this project. So the next thing, I'll be going ahead to cut my pattern on my fabric. So I've already done that here, as you can see. So I've already padded my fabric, and I've also added body to my bust area. Okay, so for the waistline to the hemline, I added a light gum stay. As you can see. So my own advice will be that if you're adding a gum stay or a peplum gum to this to your fabric, okay, I will advise you add it to your lining. Okay, so this is the peplum gum that I use. Okay, I think it's also called gum stay. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'll be facing my front fabric to front fabric. I'll be placing them together, and I'll sew them on the appropriate sides. So I've already gone ahead to attach all my fabrics together. Okay, front side, well, facing each other. I've already gone ahead to sew them, as you can see on the screen. So for the bust area, I use Wordie to pad the bust area. Okay, so as you can see, I've already done all that. So for this center front, I later removed the 5-inch I added to it. Okay, guys. So that's why I said you should watch my previous tutorials on the pattern drafting. I later removed the 5-inch I added to the center front. Okay, because I didn't like the flare I was getting on the center front. Okay, guys. So this is it. I've already gone ahead to join the back part of these fabrics. Okay, I've joined all the areas together. I've also given it a nice press. So for the bust area, you use your tailor's ham to bring out your cup, to mold your cup out. Okay, guys, so this is what I have for now. Okay, so that flare part was what I was talking about at the center. I went ahead to remove it. So please, when sewing this project, try and notch all the curves areas, your waistline. You try and give it a nice notch for both the front and the back, and you open your seam line to press them down. As you can see, I've already done that. So the next thing I'll be doing now, I'll be going over to the yoke area of this dress. Okay, as you can see, that's the back yoke I'm holding. So this is the front yoke. Okay, guys. So for this drape part for the neckline, okay, so whatever you have as the width of your yoke, you can multiply it by 3. You can multiply it by 4, depending on the fullness you want for the net. Okay, so for the width, you will go over to the cleavage area, the sweetheart neckline. Okay, so for mine, I use 10. Okay, for the length, I use 10-inch for the length. So for the width, I also use the figure I got for the width. Okay, I use 10-inch to cut my net. Then for the width, I multiply the figure I add for the width, which is, I think I used 11. I approximated my figure to be 11. So I multiplied 11 by 3. I multiplied 11-inch by 3. Okay, so and I used the the length of 10" to cut my net. So for the back, I will also be going over to the back to get the figures I'll be needing to cut the back. So I'll be doing the same thing for both the front and the back. Whatever you figures you have for the back, for the length and the width. So for the length, whatever figure you have, you multiply it by 3. Then the length, you cut it on your net fabric. So I'll be cutting them on my net fabric now, okay, for the front and for the back. I'll bring it, then I'll show you after doing that. So I already gone ahead to cut my net fabric, okay? So after cutting your net fabric, the next thing you'll be doing is that you'll be running a straight stitch on it, a loose stitch, a straight loose stitch on your net fabric, okay, on both sides. You'll be running a straight loose stitch on both sides of your net fabric. Then you draw gathers on it, okay? You'll be careful while doing this so your thread doesn't cut. So you'll be doing it like so. You draw the stitch, to get the fullness of your net. Okay, guys, so that's what I'm basically doing on the screen right now. So as you can see, so like I said earlier, you'll be very careful while doing this part, okay? So if at this point you haven't subscribed, you haven't liked, you haven't commented on this video, please kindly subscribe, okay? And like, share, and comment at the comment section down below. So this is the net fabric. I've already gone ahead to gather both the front and the back. And I have also placed my pattern on it, as you can see. For the front pattern on the net, you'll be placing the back also for the back net, the back pattern for the back net. So as you can see, I folded the edges of the net a little bit inward. Okay, I folded the edges of the net a little bit inward. So you'll be doing yours like so, and you go over to sew the pattern to the net. Okay, you go over to sew the pattern to the net. This will help you to attach your net, okay, to your main fabric easily. I will do the same thing for both the front and the back. Okay, as you can see here, I've already attached the pattern to the front and the back. As you can see, I've attached the pattern to front and the back. Okay, I also went ahead to fold the edge of the back, the edge of the center back, as you can see. Okay, so the next thing I'll be doing now is that I'm going to be trimming off the excess I don't need. Okay, I'm going to be trimming off the excess, leaving half an inch on it to join it to my main fabric. Okay, so I'm basically just trimming off the excess right now. I'll do the same thing for the front and the back. Okay, I'll leave half an inch to join it to my fabric. So that's the neck part for the back. I also went ahead to take off the excess there. So this is the fabric we've already joined. Okay, this is the front fabric that we have already joined. Okay, so what I'll be doing next is that I'll be attaching my yoke to my fabric. So I'm going to take one part of the front yoke. Okay, I'll place it like so. Like I said earlier, you are going to be using you're going to be leaving your pattern on your yoke like so. You join it to your fabric first before you take off the tail of the pattern. So I'm going to be joining both the front and the back yoke, okay, on the main fabric. I'm going to be joining them down, bring it for you to see. Okay, so I'm basically just going over this again. I'm going to be using the pattern to sew it on my main fabric. I'm going to be using my pattern to sew it on my main fabric. Please do not tear off your pattern before attaching it into your fabric. Okay, please do not tear off your pattern. This will make it more easier for you. Okay, so this is it. You place it like so. You're going to be placing it like so. You sew over to one end, then you sew the other part to the other end. So this is what I have after attaching my yoke to my main fabric. Okay, this is what I have at this point right now, as you can see on the screen. So the next thing I'll be doing now is that I'll be tearing off the paper. off the net fabric that is underneath it. As you can see on the screen, I'm basically just tearing off the paper right now. Okay, so you do same for yours. You can even still leave your paper to join your shoulder before you tear off your paper, but at this point you can decide to also take off the paper. Okay, so I'm basically just taking off the paper gently, as you can see on the screen right now. You have to be very gentle about this. Okay, so guys, I've taken off all the paper. As you can see, I've taken off all the papers from the nets, as you can see right now. Okay, guys, so you just place a fabric on top of this net and you give it a nice press. Okay, guys, so that's the back, while this is the front. Okay, as you can see right on the screen. Like I said, I only padded this fabric, the front part. I used wood to pad the front part of this fabric. Okay, so this is the back. Okay, this is the back. So I haven't taken off this paper. Okay, this is the back yoke. So guys, the next thing I'll be doing now is that whatever I did for the joining for this main fabric, I also went ahead to do it for the lining. Okay, I also went ahead to do it for the lining. The next thing I'll be doing right now is that I'm going to be using my lining to turn my fabric. Okay, I'm going to be using my line to turn my fabric. Okay, guys, so at this point, guys, please kindly hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Help this channel to grow, guys. Please share, okay? Share my videos, okay? So the next thing I'll be doing, I'll be flipping my nails to the right side of my main fabric. Okay, so I'll be flipping it. As you can see, I've done that. I'll be putting my my lining, okay, on top of my net, like so. So my net will be in between my lining and my main fabric, as you can see. So I'll be using this lining to turn the down part and also the neckline of my main fabric. Before I go over to do that, I'll be reducing my lining by 1 inch. Okay, I'll be reducing my lining by 1 inch to have that turn up effect at the down part of my main fabric. Okay, I hope you understand, guys. I'll be reducing my lining by 1 inch before using the lining to turn my main fabric. As you can see, I've already marked out the 1 inch I'll be taking out of my lining. Okay, I'll basically just take my scissors and cut it out. I'll cut the 1 inch I already marked. I'm going to be cutting it off my lining, as you can see. Okay, guys, so you can make this dress longer. You can make it, this was my preferred length. Okay, you can make it longer. Okay, so for the flare parts, you can curve it a little bit. Just give it any styling of your choice. Okay, so this is it. This is the back and this is the front. Okay, so for this project, I'm also going to be using crinoline for the down part. Just watch. Okay, so I'm basically checking my measurement before turning with my lining, because I'll be doing fabric to fabric and lining to lining. So before I go over to turn the down part of my lining, I'm going to be shaping this my main fabric first. Okay, so I'm going to be shaping main fabric to main fabric, lining to lining, as you can see, because I want to do inseam finishing for this blouse. So I'm going to be shaping fabric to fabric, lining to lining. As you can see, I'm placing the front side of the back to front side of the front, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to be sewing the sides with the allowance I have left. Okay, so I'll be doing the same thing for the lining. I'll be doing the same thing for the main fabric, and I'll bring it to the screen. As you can see, I have marked the allowance that I left, okay, to sew this blouse. So I have marked it, and I'm basically just using my pin to hold both the front and the back together, as you can see on the screen. So you do the same thing for yours. Okay, you do the same thing for yours, for this side and also for the other side of the main fabric. You do the same thing for the lining also. Then you take it over to the sewing machine and sew on both sides of the main fabric and on both sides of the lining. Okay, guys, so this is what we have right now. I've gone over to sew both the lining and the main fabric, as you can see. So at the curve area there, you have to notch all curve areas. Okay, you have to notch all curve areas for both the lining and the fabric, curve areas of your shaping for the bust area and also for the sides, basically all curves area. So I'm going to be turning my net over to the main fabric like so. As you can see, I'm going to be turning my net over to the main fabric like so. I'll place my lining on top. Okay, I'll place my lining on top in such a way that the net will be in between the lining and the main fabric. So make sure each point aligned to each point. You can use a pin to hold them down. Okay, make sure each point aligned to each point. The seam lines aligns to each other. Make sure all the seam lines aligns to each other. Okay, as you can see what I'm doing on the screen right now. Okay, so I'm basically just pinning them down to make sure all the seams align to each other, as you can see. Okay, guys, so I'll pin everything round to the other end of the fabric. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is that I'm going to be introducing my crinoline, because I want to use crinoline at the hemline of this blouse. As you can see, I'm going to be using this crinoline to turn the fabric at the hemline, okay, to give it that wavy effect. As you can see right now, I'm going to be sewing it like so. Okay, I'm going to be sewing it like so. So if you do not want to use crinoline, is also fine. So this crinoline is 2 inch. Okay, you can use any inch of your choice. Okay, guys, so that is it. I'm also going to be introducing my hemming gum. Okay, this hemming gum will help to stick the crinoline to your fabric. Okay, to help to stick the crinoline to the fabric. So when sewing the crinoline to the fabric, I'm also going to be sewing the hemming gum alongside with both the crinoline and the main fabric. As you can see, I've already done that. So I left a space at the zipper area, one side of the zipper area. So that was the place I used to turn out my fabric. Okay, to turn out the blouse. Okay, that was the space I left because every other space are closed. So I left that space to turn out my blouse. So the next thing I'll be doing it now is that I'm going to be giving it a nice press. I'll take it to the pressing table. I'll give it a nice press. Okay, then I'll bring it back to the screen for you to see. So as you can see, I've already pressed the blouse. You can see I've already pressed the blouse in such a way that the crinoline will stick to the fabric. Okay, so with the help of that hemming gum that I attached to it while I was sewing. Okay, this is the back of the blouse. Okay, as you can see, all seam lines are closed. So the only part that is open is just that part of the zipper area. Okay, I'm going to be folding it like so to cover up the rough sides of the zipper area. Okay, I'm going to be sewing it like so before attaching my zip. Okay, before attaching my zipper, I'll also go ahead to sew my shoulders together. So before sewing my shoulders together, I'm going to be using bias tape to tape the neckline for the back. Okay, you know we are going to be taping the neckline for the back. Okay, the neckline for the back, I taped the neckline for the back. So after doing that, I'm going to bring it to the camera for you to see. So as you can see, I've attached my zip. Okay, I've attached my zip. Okay, so I have also gone ahead to sew both the front and back shoulders together. I also went ahead to pipe the neckline for the back. Okay, I piped the neckline for the back. I also added the loop. I added loop. Okay, for one side of the back and also a button for the other side of the back. Okay, guys, so this is what we have for the dress right now, as you can see on the screen. Okay, this is what the back will be looking like. Okay, this is what the back will be looking like. You attach a loop and also a button to it. Okay, so this is the front part. You have to just give it a very nice press. At the end of the day, this is what we have. Okay, as you can see, guys, you can see how beautiful this blouse is. Please, if this video was helpful, kindly hit on the notification bell, subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye.